What is up, Packer fans? Back again. Here we are, week 9 of the NFL season. The Packers are 6-2, going back home to Lambeau Field to face off against the division leader, the Detroit Lions, who did have a bye week, so they're 6-1. Only one loss for them on the season. They're coming to Lambeau after a 52-14 blowout win against the Tennessee Titans. The Lions come into Lambeau riding high. Jared Goff playing super well. The running back tandem of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs playing lights out. You know, they call him Sonic and Knuckles, I guess, but I don't know, whatever. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is a heck of a running back, and David Montgomery, we've been seeing him all the way back since he was a Bear. Keep playing, keep going, and now with the Lions doing what he used to do and continuing to be the battering ram and kind of the touchdown guy for the Lions. So for the Packers, it's going to come down to playing good defense. Can they stop the run? Can we make Jared Goff throw an incomplete pass? It seems like a lot of these other teams have not been able to get Goff to even throw an incompletion, let alone a turnover, an interception, things like that. So for this Packers team, they're going to have to play lights out. No mistakes, no mental mistakes. Obviously, the biggest question mark going into week 9 is Jordan Love going to play. We all know that he got knocked out week 1 with the knee, kind of came back. He's been playing well, throwing picks, but throwing touchdowns as well. Now, after the first series last week, he kind of threw it on the run, came down awkward, maybe was trying to overcompensate for that knee, ended up tweaking his groin a little bit. Another soft tissue injury. It could take some time to heal. Might not be able to move around as much as he would like. Obviously, these young kids are so good at healing and so malleable that they do bounce back quickly. So we'll see what he can do in that aspect of healing quick and getting back on the field. Otherwise, Malik Willis will have to start again for the Packers. That would be 3 starts for him this season. He is 2-0. And coming back against the Jaguars last week after they tied it up and throwing a bomb to Jaden Reed. It was a dime. Reed did the rest. Got within field goal range. Brandon McManus kicks the game winner. Packers win 30-27 against the Jaguars. So this week, a whole new slew of issues and players to worry about. Obviously, Jameson Williams, the speedster for the Lions, he is out. He is on a suspension another week. This will be the second week of the suspension, the final week of the suspension. But he will be out, so they will be leaning on Amon-Ra St. Brown a lot. Veteran receiver Tim Patrick, who they brought over from the Broncos, and they have Allen Robinson, who was a Bear, and then bounced around the league a little bit. I think it was the Jacksonville at first, and then he went to the Rams as well. So a guy that can make plays, a guy that's been around the league. And then obviously Sam Laporta, really good tight end. They have Brock Wright as well, who the Packers have seen over the years. But the Detroit Lions offensive line is probably the best in football. This defense for the Packers, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, they're going to have to really wreak havoc up front. They're going to have to do some stunts and some other things to kind of get guys free and try to confuse this offensive line for the Detroit Lions. The Lions offensive line, like I said, probably the number 1 offensive line in football. Definitely going to be a test for this Green Bay defense and front 7 for sure, going up against those 5 offensive linemen. They have Decker, Glatzel, Ragnow, Zietler, and Sewell. I mean, all guys who you've heard of or I've heard of. So it's usually with the offensive line, you don't have a lot of guys that you know or have heard of and maybe 1 or 2 names. So going into this game, it's going to be imperative that this defense really comes to play. Obviously, then on the defensive side of the ball, the Lions really have studs. James Houston, Ellen McNeil, who's been a guy down low, defensive tackle who's caused problems for the Packers in the past. Then DJ Reader, who's just a really tough player to go against. Jack Campbell at linebacker. Alex Anzalone, he's another guy. He's going to be playing, flying around. Malcolm Rodriguez is out. He's probably doubtful for the game. But they're cornerbacks. Carlton Davis III, Terrion Arnold, and Amik Robertson. Those guys really play well, cover corners. And then Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch at safety. Branch coming in as a rookie last year, played lights out. Really a guy back there that can do it all. And then Kirby Joseph, he's the one that picked off Rodgers, I think 3 times Rodgers last season as a Packer in Green Bay. 2 in the last game and then 1 in the game earlier. It could have been bounced back and forth. But either way, defense is tough. Offense is tough for the Lions. Khalif Raymond even returned a punt for a touchdown last week. They were calling for testing all these guys for PEDs because Jameson Williams situation. But the Lions looking good. Obviously, they knocked off the Vikings. They've been playing really well. They scored 52 points last week. Some people are calling them the best team in football right now. And for the Packers, obviously, without Jordan Love, it's going to be tough sledding against this really good Detroit Lions team. With Malik Willis, it's going to come down to him not making any mistakes. Can we run the football? Get Josh Jacobs going. Get Emmanuel Wilson going. It was nice to see Chris Brooks. What a selfless player he is, going down inside the 3-yard line. Never scored a touchdown before. And being a team-first guy, he went down so that they could kick the game-winning field goal. For me, I say let them score and then play good defense. That's how I see it. But obviously, the Packers still got the W. Running the ball is going to be imperative in this game, especially if Malik Willis starts. And then hopefully we can get the receivers going. Jaden Reed, even though he had that long catch in the fourth quarter to kind of seal the win for the Packers against the Jaguars, that was only his second grab of the game. He ended up with 55 yards receiving, and pretty much all of them came on that catch. And so for Reed, I want to see some more out of him. Watson's got to get going. He just hasn't had the targets or the time on the field or the reps to really do anything with. Dobbs playing really well. Dontavian Wicks, same thing with him. Just not enough reps for a lot of these guys. And then Tucker Kraft, what can you say about him? I mean, he was stiff-arming the guy all the way down the field. What a fun play to watch, and what a good player to have on our team. Yak and cheese, I love that guy. So Packers offense, with Malik or with Jordan Love, I think we'll be able to get going and do some things, running the ball and throwing the ball. Obviously, the offense looks a lot different with Malik Willis in compared to Jordan Love. So we'll see what happens later this week. I'm thinking Jordan Love is going to try to go, but if he's not able to move around like he needs to, especially against this fast-flying defense of the Detroit Lions, I think Malik might be better suited to play. His mobility and his ability to run the ball, I really think could come in handy against this Lions team and kind of give them a layer of this offense that they haven't seen before. So I'm excited to see what LaFleur does, and hopefully this defense can get back on track and play good ball like they did against the Houston Texans, who did come out and win this week as well. So for the Packers, on defense, the offensive line playing really well. Rasheed Walker, I meant to jump to the offensive line before the defense. So offensive line still playing really well. Walker, Alkin Jenkins, Myers, Sean Ryan kind of took over for Jordan Morgan, but Morgan definitely a guy that we were going to see a little bit more throughout the season. And then Zach Tom playing right tackle. These 5 guys have played a little bit more this season, kind of coming together, getting that unity, and really playing well as a team as a 5-man unit. And so given time for whoever's back there at quarterback and allowing us to run the ball, like last week, we had 25 rushes for over 125 yards for Jacobs. Quite a day on the ground for him. And then now to the defense. So, like I said, this offensive line for the Detroit Lions is so good. It's going to come down to, can we get pressure on Jared Goff? And Goff just has not been making mistakes this year. We need to see more pressure out of Smith and Gary. Gary just has not been having the season that I thought he would, that I predicted him having. Devontae Wyatt has more sacks than Rashawn Gary, and Wyatt's been out he was out for 2 games. So that just shows you kind of where Gary is in the season right now. Linebackers, I love seeing what I see out of Edgerrin Cooper. This guy, sack, forced fumble recovered inside the 5-yard line against the Jaguars. What a play by him. Hopefully we get Quay Walker back here soon. And then obviously Isaiah McDuffie just does everything you need him to do. Eric Wilson, same thing as backup linebackers. Just do everything they're asked of. X got another pick. He's got 6 now of the year, so I want to keep seeing what he can do. Obviously, Javon Bullard not playing as well as Evan Williams, but Evan Williams got hurt. We'll got to see what happens with him. Hopefully he's back this week. We'll see what's going on with that situation. And then at corner, obviously, Jair Alexander, we're going to have to see what's going on with him. He kind of came up limping a little bit after that Evan Ingram touchdown in the fourth quarter against the Jags, so we'll see how he's doing. Carrington Valentine came in, played pretty well. Eric Stokes playing well. Keyshawn Nixon playing pretty well. So if there is an issue with Amon-Ra, obviously a big problem not having your elite corner out there to cover Amon-Ra. Ja covering Amon-Ra. Did I say that wrong? I think I mixed that up. But so you need Ja to cover Amon-Ra, and if Ja's not out there, then it kind of leaves a void. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, the Lions flying so high right now with their win over the Titans, and the Packers riding a 3-4 game winning streak now. So Packers just got to keep this momentum going. I think it's a 3-game winning streak now. So just got to keep this momentum going, carry it into Lambeau Field, get the win against the Lions. I know it's going to be a tough game Jared Goff, again, playing super well. The running backs for the Lions playing super well. The receivers doing what they need to do. Offensive line playing so well. And the defense, come into play each game. Packers, probably the toughest test they're going to see this year so far. Obviously, 6-2 against 6-1 at home. Packers coming off of a little bit of injuries, but it seems like the Lions have more injuries throughout. They have a suspension from one of their star receivers. If there's a time to kind of get on top of the Lions, it's at home this week. Get the W, kind of take control of the division and see where it goes from there. Obviously, the biggest question mark is going to be around Jordan Love. We'll see where Jair Alexander is at. But all in all, Packers doing great. What a win last week. Packers got to get to it this week. I just think that if Jordan Love plays or if Malik Willis plays and we got to run the ball a little bit, they need to figure out how they're going to formulate this offense. But against the Lions, you just can't make mistakes. You can't have mental errors, and you need to stop Goff. We need to either pick him off or get to him on a sack and make him fumble. So Packers really looking to get things situated and figure out who's going to play, who's going to be available, and kind of create the gameplay based on that. I'm super excited to see what the Packers can do this week against the Lions. It's going to be a really good test for us to see where they're at. Packers, Lions, Lambeau Field, going to be an epic battle. After the Bears lost, the Packers and Lions kind of have separated themselves in the division, so this really is a game to kind of see who is the elite of the NFC North. So go Pack Go. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Go Pack Go. Peace out.